Hello, I'm Laura, and this is tropetrinitytrilogy. Today, I'll be doing the TMI book tag, which I was tagged to do by TheBookDruggie, and I'll link her videos down below. This is a really long tag with 50 questions, so I'll get right into it. First question, which fictional character has the best style? Obviously, that would be Cinna from The Hunger Games, who is Katniss's fashion designer. Not just saying that because I really like fire, and an outfit that would be on fire would be the best thing ever. 2. Your fictional crush. Personally, I don't really have crushes on book characters, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Percy Jackson. Number 3, a character you loved but started hating. I didn't really start hating this character, but I kind of lost my love for them. That would be Kale Westphal from the Throne of Glass series. 4, the biggest, longest book on your shelf. The Bible. It is 1,455 pages. The heaviest book I have on my shelf, The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia, which is humongous. Like, look at this thing. Number 6, do you have any book posters? Yes, I have 2 book posters. They're at college though, because I use them to decorate my very plain dorm. But the ones I have is the one that came with the Percy Jackson box set. And the other one I have came with the collector's edition of Insurgent. Number 7, do you have any book-themed jewelry? Yes, I do. I have Hermione's Time Turner from Harry Potter. Book OTP/One True Parent. Ismay and Gabrielle Duval from Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevers. Favorite book series? I don't really have a favorite book series, but I'll name a book series that I feel like is very underrated. One of my favorites, the His Fair Assassin trilogy by Robin Lefevers. And it goes Grave Mercy, Dark Triumph, and then Mortal Heart. Favorite book to movie soundtracks? The Harry Potter soundtrack. It's amazing. It's really cool. It's great for like listen to if you want to write or study. But one of my favorites I have on my iPod would be the Hunger Games trilogy soundtrack. 11, a book or story you miss and would like to continue. That'd probably be The Host by Stephanie Meyer, which was originally meant to be a series. Now it's become a standalone. I'm not really the type of person who wants them to expand all series. I feel like some series go on way too long, so I get kind of wary of adding to them. I feel like this book could have stuff added to it. Number 12, favorite standalone. This one is easier because a lot of books are series, so most of what I read, so I don't have many standalones, but my favorite standalone that I've read is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. Number 13, since when do you read books? In first grade, when we were doing reading classes, supposed to learn to read, I didn't want to. I had no attention span. My dad sat me down and made me learn to read every night. Number 14, which Hogwarts house are you? I'm Slytherin. Ambition and awesomeness. Quality you look for in a book. So other than, a good plot and good characters, one thing I really like in books is when it makes you feel all the emotions. So it makes you laugh out loud, it makes you sad, it makes you happy, it makes you angry, and want to punch characters in the face, and it makes you feel everything and isn't just one note. Favorite book quotes. If we burn, you burn with us, in Mockingjay by Susan Collins. Favorite author. So I really don't have a favorite author. I would say of the authors I have read the most books from, I've read the most books by Aaron Hunter, who wrote the Warrior series, which is actually 3 authors who go under the pseudonym Aaron Hunter. But this is the first book in the Warrior series, and to be completely honest, the series got too long. It's still going, and I read 20 books from it. I can't make that commitment. There's a lot of books to read. I can't read them all from that series. Favorite cover. Types of covers I like are like artsy, like hand-drawn ones, or very simplistic covers. I really like this box set for The Hunger Games. They're all really simplistic and shiny, which is cool. And then other covers I like is, I really like the Throne of Glass covers. My favorite 2 are the Assassin's Blade cover and Queen of Shadows. Another cover I really like is Beyond the Red by Ava J. 19, action or romance? Action all the way. I like main plot action with romantic subplots. 20, where do you go when a sad moment happens? I assume it means sad moments in books. I don't really go anywhere. I usually just pace and contemplate the meaning of life. Number 21, how long do you need to finish a book? I can finish books in 2 days. Number 22, how long is your mourning period? I don't really mourn books. Either I have time to read or I don't have time to read. Number 23, least favorite book. I don't really have a least favorite book, but I will say when I started to read The Lovely Bones. It was so depressing. I had to put it down. Number 24, turn on in a character. I really like morally gray characters. I like villains. I love good villains. If it's a bad villain, then obviously I don't love them. But if you make a good villain, that would be my favorite character. Aiden from Illuminate is a great villain, one of my favorite characters in it. The Commandant from An Ember in the Ashes. But the main thing is good villains and morally gray characters. Turn off in a character, obviously if they're dull and boring, it doesn't make me hate them, it just makes me apathetic to them. I don't like villains who are evil for the sake of being evil. So I like morally gray characters. I love flawed characters. That's awesome. One of my favorite things is when the protagonist is morally gray and flawed. I hate it when usually the protagonist, but it could be any character, is flawed but never gets called out on it. So they can do awful things and no one cares. Number 26. Last book you gave 5 stars. An Ember in the Ashes. 27. The reason you joined BookTube. Ever since I started watching YouTube, I became obsessed with YouTube and I watch it all the time. And I've always enjoyed reading. And the section of YouTube I tended to watch was BookTube and AuthorTube. Watching it all the time. I noticed there's some books that I'm obsessed with that I feel like didn't get reviewed as much as the ones that mostly everyone would review every time. I wanted to join BookTube so that I could share the books that I love that I feel like are not as gushed about on BookTube. Number 28, name a scary book. So when I was in middle school, I would read a bunch of horror books by Mary Downing Han. I don't read many horror, but I read hers, so I guess that counts. Middle grade horror is always the best horror, of course. Number 29, name a last book that made you cry. To be honest, I've never actually cried while reading a book, so no book has ever made me cry, so there is no last book that made me cry. But I will say the last book that made me sad was Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. Number 30, favorite book title. I haven't read this book, but I thought the title was pretty cool, which was one of the reasons why I got it. The Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie Ryan. Number 31, last book you read. Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. 32, book you're currently reading, which I'm almost done it. Torch Against the Night by Sabati here. 33, last book adaptation you watched, which I think the last one I watched was Allegiant by Veronica Roth. Number 34, book character you always wanted to talk to. I guess I'd want to talk to Riprid from the Underland Chronicles, which I don't own, but is the middle grade series written by Susan Collins, who wrote The Hunger Games. I actually read it before The Hunger Games. And Riprid is a giant rat, and he's awesome. Probably be a very awkward conversation, wouldn't go very well. I probably could pick up a character that I'd get along with better, but I picked the giant rat named Riprid anyway. Number 35, author you always wanted to talk to. To be honest, I don't really think about this. I'm not like, I need to talk to this specific author. I think it'd be cool to talk to any author, but I will say I have had like online conversation sort of with authors. So the first one I ever talked to was Jenna Moresi, who wrote Eve the Awakening. I have actually read this book and I really liked it. And the other 2 authors I talked to were Ava J, who wrote Beyond the Red, and Francina Simone, who wrote The Keeper's Vow. I just got their book for my birthday, so I have not gotten a chance to read them because I haven't read anything since my birthday, but I'm excited to read them. Book world you want to live in. I mean, it's a pretty cliche choice, but I probably want to live in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. But to be completely honest, I do tend to read books that take place in worlds where you would not want to live, so. Oh, when I was a dog, I also thought it'd be cool to live in the Warrior series. Obviously, I'd have to be a cat, which I'd like being a human better. But I always thought their, like, world was kind of cool. Harry Potter's definitely more fun. This one's kind of like a cat-eat-cat world, but I thought it was cool. 38, book world you don't want to live in. Is this even a debate? Like, 1984. This is like my nightmares in book form. I would not want to live here. I'd rather live in the Hunger Games, Divergent, Maze Runner. Rather live anywhere but 1984. Because, you know, like, these ones have apocalypses where everyone's dying and it's awful, but at least you have free will unless you're dead or become a zombie. But, you know, you have free will. 39, last time you smelled a book, you know. I really haven't smelled a book in a while. I don't really smell them that much, so last time I smelled a book, right now. Number 40, weird insults in books. In Insurgents by Veronica Roth, Uriah calls Peter a sadistic pansy cake, which is the best insult in any book ever. Number 41, favorite book romance. Obviously, it's the same as my OTP. And Grave Mercy, Ismay, and Gabriel Duvall. Oh, it was favorite romance book. This book is technically historical romance, so It still counts. Number 42, do you write? Yes, but I should write more. 43, favorite magical item? The Elder Wand from Harry Potter. 44, your Quidditch position? I would like to be a beater so I could hit people. Based on what I've done before, I probably could do beater, and what I've done, also I was a lacrosse goalie, so I could probably be keeper. Number 45, name of a song you connect to a book. I don't really connect songs to books people write. I connect songs to the books I write. So if I had to say that, I connect The Bow to Mona Lisa by Panic at the Disco to the book I'm currently writing. Number 46, favorite book-related chat-up line? I can't think of any right now. All I can think of is like the, do you want to slither in? Do you want to check my wand? Yeah. Like something like that. Have you ever used it? No. Favorite book fandom? I guess the Harry Potter fandom, because to be honest, that's the only fandom I really see. How many books do you own? 110. Number 50, the final question. Who do you tag? I tag you. Later.